Hi, this is Rob Plevin from Needs Focused Teaching. I don't do a lot of this, but I thought I would give it a little try and see how it goes down. I haven't put any videos out on YouTube for quite a while, but I thought I'd try putting out some really quick videos with just really quick, useful tips for teachers and see how they go down. If you haven't come across me before, if you type in classroom management into the YouTube search box, I actually come up number one with the filter method for dealing with noisy groups of students outside the classroom, and that video has had about 1.7 million views when I last checked. So I thought, wow, I might as well do a little bit more of that and see if people want more or not. So basically the tip I've got for you today, I was just thinking about it this morning. I've just written a blog post on time management for teachers, on how to save time and improve your focus and productivity. That's something that's really close to my heart because I actually burned out due to work pressure about 5 years ago and completely hit the wall. And it took me quite a long time, a couple of years actually, to really get back on my feet following that. And I know that teaching is such a tough job. The pressures on you are huge, that anything that can help you save time, improve your organisation, improve your focus is going to be really useful for you. So this quick tip is something which made a massive difference to me in terms of how to run a to-do list. Now, most of you, I'm sure, will have to-do lists sitting on your desk or in your bag or in your teacher planner, wherever you keep them, a list of things that you've got to do today or over the next week or so. And the big problem I found with my to-do list was that it just seems to get longer and longer. It never, ever seems to get completed. And that can have a real draining effect on you because basically whenever you look at it, all you're seeing is just a mountain of work that you never, ever get completed. You never enjoy that sense of satisfaction and completion, having knocked everything off your list. The reason it happens, of course, is that every time something comes into our heads, we just add it to the list, or we'll do that later. So, two little things. One is you need somewhere to store all the new information that comes to you, all the new ideas, all the immediate tasks that drop into your in tray or crop up when you're speaking to someone or come off your telephone when you've been speaking to somebody. So there's always this new information. You need somewhere to store that where it's out of your head and not on your to-do list, because if it's not going to happen immediately, or certainly not today, then it needs to be stored somewhere else. And I'll cover that in a later tip if people want it. I've also got it in a product which I'm going to tell you about in a moment. But the thing that's had a huge impact on me and my productivity in terms of how I run a to-do list is the simplest thing you could think of, and that is just to give each task a time limit. So when you're going through the things on your to-do list, if you look at them and go through each objective on there and just think, right, well, that's going to take me about an hour realistically, or that might take me 10 minutes, you can then write the amount of time next to that task, and lo and behold, if you get to about 5 hours, you know that anything beyond that is not going to get done today, because you need a couple of hours buffer zone. We can't all work flat out for hours and hours and hours. I tend to allocate about 4 hours now to tasks and then have a buffer after that for other things that crop up and for a little bit of spillage, when things take longer than you first anticipate. So that's the first thing, is to have a time limit on every task that you put on your list, or an allocation of time. And the second thing is, rather than just giving all tasks the same priority, you need to prioritize the first 2 or 3. And I call those your musts, M-U-S-T-S. I can't say that word very well. My mouth doesn't work too good. Musts. So they are the things that you must get done today, before anything else, and without fail. So with those two things in place, must-do activities, i.e. your 2 or 3 prioritised tasks, they get done before anything else, with everything having a time limit on it, a time allocation, you've got a really good chance of getting all the tasks on your to-do list completed. Beyond that, if you have somewhere to store additional information so that you can work on it later, then there's no chance of your to-do list just getting miles and miles long and never ever getting finished. So the product I was going to tell you about, which makes all this really, really simple and explains it in more detail, is something I've put together called Zen Productivity for Teachers. And it's available on my website. If you go over to my blog, you'll see there are a couple of articles about it, and there's a link to tell you more about it in each one of those articles. So that's needsfocusedteaching.com/blog, and that should take you there. Okay, leave some comments underneath if you like this kind of thing. I'll do more of it. If not, I'll stop and delete this within the next few days. Okay, all the best. That's me, over and out. Cheers.